So now let's look at the critical errors in the establishing part. So first I'm just going to show you guys how to establish properly, and then we will look at the critical errors. What are the common critical errors when people establish in the driving test. Okay, so at any point if you're turning left, you always have to stay on the left side of the intersection. If you go on the right side of the intersection, that's going to be an automatic fail. So a lot of people, they like to draw a line this way. Okay, so that means you want to stay on this side of the intersection. This is your side, and at the same time you can draw a box here. So when you establish, at least half of your car should be inside the box. Okay, now this plus sign here represents the middle of the intersection. Now when you establish, you want to stop before the middle of the intersection, so you should stop something like this. The reason for that is this way, like, you're staying on your side, on the left side, and if there's another car who want to turn left, they will do exactly same thing. They will stay on their side, and if you get the opportunity to go first, you can go first. Or if this car gets the opportunity to go first, and then this car can go first, or you both can go at the same time without interfering with each other. So that is the proper way to establish for your left turns. Now let me show you what are the common critical errors when people establish, because a lot of time they think they have established properly, but in reality they did not. The first critical error is not going too far in the intersection. So let's say your stop line is over here. So this is your stop line. Sometimes students, they just stop over here. They only go a little bit in the intersection like this, and they sit here. Okay, you have to claim in the intersection. If the light is green, you are the first car, you have to go a little bit more in the intersection to claim the intersection. If you're just sitting here, it doesn't, like, you're not even in the intersection here, right? So you're as you can see, you're still pretty much behind the intersection. So that's a critical error. The second critical error is they go too far in the intersection. So instead of stopping before the middle of the intersection, they would actually stop something like this. Okay, now the problem with this method is you're not leaving any room for this traffic to go left. Okay, if somebody from this side, they want to go left, they got no space. All right, because you're pretty much on their side, so you're blocking all the lane, and that's why it becomes a critical error. The other reason, if you go too far in the intersection, the other mistake is, let's say you stop something like this. Now you're leaving a lot of space behind you, and in real life we know there are a lot of impatient drivers who don't follow the rules, so somebody else gonna pull in. Okay, now you got like two cars in the intersection, and now when the road is clear, you are trying to go in the left lane, and at the same time this guy is trying to go in the left lane as well. Then it's not safe anymore. Okay, so that's gonna be automatic fail, and you're not leaving any space for this traffic either, right? So you're blocking this traffic, so it's not safe at all. The other wrong way to establish is now if you have a okay, let me step back for a second. If you have a yellow line in the middle of the street, okay, yellow line, when you establish, you keep your car straight. Okay, you want to stay on your side, you want to stay closer to the yellow line, but you're gonna keep your car straight like this. Okay, now if you angle your car, so let's say instead of keeping your car straight, if you go sideways like this, now what's happening is you are actually in the wrong lane. You're blocking this oncoming traffic now. Okay, the front end of your car is already on their side, so that's gonna become automatic fail as well. So now let's look at, let's say instead of a yellow line, maybe you have a divider in the middle. Okay, so now if you have a divider in the middle, you have to um, angle your car a little bit. Okay, so let me show you what I mean by that. So let's say let's get rid of all the lines. Okay, so let's say we got a divider in the middle of the street, something like this. Same thing on this side, we have a divider, and we will guys, we will look at some real life examples as well. And this is the middle of the intersection here. Okay, now when you establish, if you keep your car straight, if you stop like this, now that's gonna be automatic fail because you're blocking all the traffic behind you. You did not establish properly. So what you should be doing, if you have a divider beside you, you wanna angle your car. Okay, you wanna use all the space here. Okay, all the space, but you gotta be careful when you angle your car. You don't wanna go past this line. Okay, so you wanna extend this curb, and you don't want to cross this line. If you are stopping something like this, it's still automatic fail because now you're still blocking this traffic. Okay, so the proper way to stop or establish here would be something like this. Now it depends how wide this divider is. If it's a narrow divider, then the back side of your car, it's still gonna block this lane, which is totally fine. But if you have a pretty big divider like a boulevard, then when you establish, your car will fit completely inside the boulevard, so you will not block any lane, and you're still staying on the left side when you establish like this. Okay, so we are still staying on the left side. Same thing on this side here. If somebody from this side, they want to make left turn, they will stay on their side, on the left side. Now let's look at another example. See, these are all different situations. Okay, different intersections, different examples. When you understand all this, it doesn't really matter where you go for your driving test, you will pass, because now you understand the concept. Everything is very clear in your mind, and you make your decisions based on your past experience, based on your knowledge. Alright, so what I'm doing right now is I'm expanding your knowledge. I'm giving you different intersections, taking you on different situations, and that's gonna expand your knowledge. So let's look at another example. So now we have a divider on all the sides. So very simple. When you establish, you just wanna try to keep your car sideways, right, inside the divider here, and when the road is clear, no oncoming traffic, no pedestrian crossing, that's when you complete your turn. Okay, so let's look at one more example. So this time we have a divider on this side, but there's a yellow line on this side, and you're approaching from this side here, so you have a yellow line beside you. Okay, so what we're gonna do in this example, we're just gonna extend this curb, and you need to stop before that line. Okay, so you're gonna stop about here. The reason for that is because now we same idea, we are leaving space for this traffic to go left. If you go too far in the intersection, let's say you stop about here, now this traffic, they can't turn left anymore, and then it will become a critical error. Okay, so let's look at some real life examples now. So when you go in the intersection, so this time we have a divider beside us, and the light is red, so we are just waiting for the light to turn green. Now the light is green. As you're going in the intersection, so I'm just going to angle the car a little bit. So now I am angled, and I'm waiting for this car to go, and we also have pedestrians on this side, so I'm waiting for the pedestrians to cross the street. And now sometimes your light gonna change first. Okay, so if you see green light, if it changes to amber, then you look back at the traffic. If they're slowing down, you can go. But in this situation, the traffic is actually, there's no more traffic. We are just waiting for the red car and the pedestrians. Now pedestrians are on the other side of the divider here, right? So that means my lane is clear, so that means I'm good to go. So here we are going to look at another example, and same thing here. We have a divider beside us, so when I go in the intersection, if I have to establish, then I can angle my car, and that's something I have to check as I'm going in the intersection. If I see a big opening between the traffic, that time I don't need to stop. So see, after these two cars, the next car is quite far, so that means I can just go through the intersection without stopping. If I stop at that time, that's going to be a critical error, because then I'm stopping without any reason. So in this example here, we only have a yellow line beside us. So now when the light turns green, I have to make sure I keep my car straight when I go in the intersection, because if I angle my car a little bit, then I'm gonna go in the oncoming traffic lane. And see this divider here, that means I have to, when I establish, I have to stop before that divider. I want to make sure if somebody else is turning left from this side, they get enough room to complete their turn. So these are all the things that you should be checking when you're establishing. So now I establish, I'm just waiting for the traffic to be cleared. The light is still green, and I'm checking traffic light, I'm checking traffic, I'm checking pedestrians. Light was green, no pedestrian crossing, and then I complete my turn. We will take another left turn on this next coming intersection, so we're gonna switch lanes here to the left, and the light right now, it's already green, so that means I'm the first car I have to go in the intersection. If I don't establish, that's gonna be automatic fail. See here how I angled my car, right? So hopefully you guys can tell that just by looking at the position of the car. So right now I'm angled. We are waiting for the traffic to be cleared. Light is still green. Looks like after this car we are good to go. There's no pedestrian crossing, and I'm staying closer to the yellow line. Okay, so let's look at this situation now. Now on this intersection, we're gonna have a turning signal. So right now the light is red, so we are just waiting for the light to turn green. And as I am approaching towards the intersection, because I was the fourth car actually, so first car is here, second car, third car, I'm the fourth car, so that means I have to be careful. By the time I get to the intersection, maybe the arrow gonna change from green to amber. Maybe it will stay green, we just have to see. So far I'm right, see the front bumper of my car is right where the stop line is, and looks like the arrow is still green, so that means I'm good to go. We are already in the middle of the intersection now. The arrow is still green, and that means we can just go through the intersection. So here we have another example. We are turning left again. Now this street doesn't have any yellow line in the middle, so that means we're just gonna imagine a yellow line in the middle of the street, and we are staying closer to the yellow line. This red car is also turning left, so I have to see what he's doing. As you can see, I'm stopping here before the stop line, letting him go first. He's already moving, the light is still green, I don't have oncoming traffic, there's no pedestrian crossing, so that means I'm good to go. Now this example is it's perfect example to show for the busy intersections. So this time we are going to turn left at the lights, and looks like there's already actually two cars in the intersection. As you can see, the light is already red. Okay, so both cars, they were established in the intersection, so the second car here was wrong, and they both are going on a red light now. Okay, because they were both established in the middle of the intersection, and this intersection is busy all the time. There's a lot of pedestrian traffic, lot of cars. So right now we are just waiting for the light to turn green, and as when you're waiting for the light to turn green, you can already start planning everything, look at all the signs, observe, see how much traffic you have. Now I see a one-way street sign here. See this black sign here, black sign on this side. That indicates we are turning from a two-way street onto a one-way street. Now what's that mean? That means when I'm turning, I need to take my very first lane here, okay? First available lane, the closest lane on the left side. Now that means when I go in the intersection, I'm just gonna go a little bit in the intersection, not too far. If I go too far in the intersection, that means it's gonna force me to take the second lane. And let me show you that in a sketch as well, so you can understand what I'm saying here. Alright, so the intersection that we are looking at right now, it looks something like this. Okay, so we are on a two-way street. Alright, so this one is a two-way street, and this street here is a one-way street going to the left side. So that means when I establish, now the middle of the intersection is here, but I don't want to go in the middle because otherwise it's gonna force me to go in the second lane. So if I establish here, it's gonna force me to go in the second lane or in the third lane, and that's gonna be automatic fail. So what I need to do is, when I see a one-way street sign, I just need to go a little bit in the intersection, okay? Just not too far, just a little bit in the intersection, so I can take my first lane here, okay? Because I need to go into this lane first, unless I see a parked car here. So let's say if there is a parked car over here, right? So something like this, then I can go in the second lane. But if the first lane is clear, then I always have to go in the first lane first. So that's what we are looking at on this intersection here. So far there's still a lot of traffic coming. The light is still green. Now if you notice, this car is not moving because he doesn't have room on the other side, so he doesn't want to block the intersection. That's why he stopped over there. And now this truck is moving. So there's still a lot of traffic, and when you're watching traffic at the same time, you want to look at your traffic light, because sometimes your light gonna change first. So like right now, if you notice, the light is already amber, but I still got this white car in the middle of the intersection. This bus is in the middle of the intersection, so that means I still have to wait for them. And now I start moving, the light is already red, and now I'm start moving, and the bus is still in the middle of the intersection, so I still have to wait for the bus. So here I'm going on a pretty much on a red light. As you can see, the other traffic already have a green light here, and I'm going in the first available lane. So sometimes you have to do that, and that's why they only want one car in the intersection from your side. Because you don't know when you're gonna clear the intersection. Maybe you're going on a green light, maybe you're going on a amber light, or maybe you're going on a red light. It all depends on how much how busy the intersection is, how much traffic you have. So here we are going to turn left again. Now this one is pretty easy because there was no oncoming traffic and there was no pedestrian crossing. So here let's look at another example. So we are turning left again, and so far the light is green, so now I'm going in the intersection. So the silver car went because that time the intersection was empty, but now when I pull in the intersection, I have this oncoming traffic, so I have to wait for them, and I'm stopping before this divider here, as you can see. Now as I said, like sometimes your light gonna change first when you're in the intersection. When you see amber light, that time you look at the traffic. If they're slowing down, you can go, but if they don't slow down, then you wait for the red light, and when your light is red, that's when you have to go. And at that time your examiner will only wait for you like 1 second. If he notice you're not doing anything, he gonna ask you to go, and that will be a critical error in the test. Okay, so if you're hesitating, that's a critical error. If you're rushing yourself, that's a critical error. For example, like let's say now if I don't wait for this car, if I try to go before this car hoping I can make it, that's gonna be automatic fail. Okay, so let's see what happens here. So we are just waiting. Now there's another car, and now look at the light. Now the light went ambers, and this guy is still in the intersection. Okay, so I have to let him go, and at the same time I have to see what this red car is doing. Is he going to stop? Is he slowing down? If I notice he's slowing down, that means he will stop and I can clear the intersection. But if he doesn't slow down, that means I still have to wait for him. And this silver car on this side here is turning left, so I don't like, he's not going to interfere with me, so I don't need to worry too much about him. See the red car, look at the red car. Okay, did not stop. Okay, did not slow down at all. Very important point, guys. Okay, this is your observation, so let's watch that again. Okay, light went amber. Okay, now this guy is pretty much already in the intersection, so we know he's not going to stop. Okay, because he's already past the stop line. But look at the red car here. Okay, no, did not even slow down. Okay, see, now my light is already red, and when I see that red light, I have to go right way. Okay, I gotta leave the intersection right way, because now the other traffic gonna get a green light, so this light gonna change to green pretty soon. And if I don't go, then the cross traffic here, they won't be able to go, and then I will get automatic fail there because I'm interfering with the traffic. Alright, so here as you can see, I'm leaving right way. Alright, so we're gonna look at one more example here. So right now the light is red, so now the light is green. I'm the first car, that means I have to establish myself. And now when I'm in the middle of the intersection, I'm observing traffic light, pedestrians on the sidewalk there, and if I see a big opening between the traffic, so see, after this car the next car is too far, so that means I need to leave, I need to clear the intersection that time. If I don't do that, that's gonna become hesitation, and if I'm hesitating, too much hesitation is automatic fail.